All right, today we're going to take a second and talk about food. Does that excite everybody? I know that food excites me. But really what we're talking about is using textual evidence properly. And we call that creating a quote sandwich. So this year, when we are reading and we're asking, why do you think this about a particular reading? And we ask you a question and then you have to answer it, you have to back it up. Okay? And you have to use a quote. And a lot of you have learned how to use quotes already, but you want to make sure that you are not using drop quotes, or as I like to call them, hit and run quotes, where all of a sudden you're writing about something, then there's a quote, and then you just move on, and there's really no explanation of a quote. So, to make our quote sandwich delicious and full of meaning, you want to set it up in this way. So you want to think about it in terms of having our top bun. Okay, this is our setup. This tells us what you think. Then you're going to have your lead in. All right, we think about these as the toppings on our burger. Your lead in, as the author states, or what the author says in this piece, something leading in and explaining who is saying this quote and where it's coming from. And then you have your quote. All right? And then the bottom, that's the meat. And then we have our bottom bun, and that's the explanation. So you told us what you thought. You told us what the quote was about what you thought. And now your explanation is you're going to tell us how what you think and the quote go together. Explain to us how that quote backs up your idea. So that is a quote sandwich. So look right here. All right, so we talked about our setup. We said our background information. This is just a little bit of content, summary of the content that surrounds the quote, and why you feel what you feel about whatever it is, the piece of writing, whatever question you were asked about. Okay, then your lead in. These words directly come before the quote. They're usually followed by a comma. The author states, etc., comma, and then the quote. Then you have your quote, and then your explanation, a breakdown of what the quote means and or the reason it is included in your writing and how it backs up what your opinion or statement about that writing is. So in short, that is a quote sandwich.